channel, and today I thought I did this a little while ago, or something kind of like this a little while ago, and I feel like we would do like the part 2 version where it's like a podcast, like ASMR podcast, and I just yap about a topic for 20 some minutes. I could yap about this particular topic that I chose for a decade. Also, if you like this and you want me to talk about more topics, leave them some in the comments, and I'll do what I can. The topic I chose today is the "you should try being an influencer for a day" thing. Alright, one little PSA I want to put out into the world before I talk about this. I don't think I'm an influencer. I know I'm not an influencer. That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to like relate to it so that I like whatever. No. I'm telling you from my little perspective on the little teeny tiny piece of it that I have. Plus, like, just everything else that I've seen. Okay. So, I have seen so many people. There was like the Kim Kardashian like meme where it was like nobody wants to work anymore, and then there was one where it was Michaela, the girl who does the glam light makeup that I have. I can't remember her last name. She went online and said that she finished work at 5:17 and that people should try to be an influencer for a day to see what it's like. I can tell you, especially in this economy, that there are a lot of people, myself included, that would love to make the kind of money that she makes, get the kind of products she can get, live the kind of lifestyle she's been afforded to live by being an influencer. That's so tone deaf to me. It's baffling. Like, you should try being an influencer. I'd love to be an influencer. I'd love to not have to work a 9 to 5. I'd love to not really have real world responsibilities. I'd love my biggest problem to be like, what brand am I gonna collaborate with? And I'm not saying influencers don't work. I'm just saying, do you know how many people work 2 and 3 jobs to make their ends meet? Do you know how many people work 2 and 3 jobs just to hit poverty line? Like, just to be living paycheck to paycheck? Like, that's what I'm saying. And you were rich from doing makeup online. And no hate to any of the influencers or anything. Like, it's not hateful. But this leads me into like my other topic that I have that will forever grind my gears, and it's very, very similar. Hold on. It's super related to this. Influencers are always like, oh my god, you should see my schedule. I just don't know how I can film 3 videos a week. What? What do you mean you don't know how you can film 3 videos a week? Do you know how untime consuming this is? Like, do you like, if you don't make videos, you probably don't know this video for today will take me less than an hour of like hands-on work. Like, yeah, sometimes because I'm working my 9 to 5 job, I don't have time to get it out at 4 p.m. But even then, I try and film the days before to have content so that I can have a video for 4 p.m. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't care how big this channel gets, I will always have a normal job. Like, I've said that from the beginning. I don't know if I've said it to you, but I've said it in my personal life. Because the internet is so touchy. The internet is so intense that 15 minutes of fame could last you 5 years. 15 minutes of fame could last you 5 minutes. Like, you don't know how long you're gonna have this clout or whatever from the internet. So it doesn't matter where I go, where this channel takes me, like what happens, I want to be along for the ride. But I'll still have my day job. Like, what? I don't know. But I've heard it a lot, and it drives me mad that people are like, I can think of a group of people in particular, but I don't want to like call anybody out. But I'm always hearing like, oh, I don't know what we're gonna do, or we gotta cut down the videos because we just can't do 3 videos a week. Okay, at the height of my YouTube, like me being the busiest I've ever been, I was going to school, working a full-time job, taking care of everything an adult has to take care of, and filming at a minimum 3 videos a week. And I was in another video every week as well on a different channel. And on top of that, there were other times I was still sprinkling in my normal channel as well. There were some weeks that I'd be in 5 YouTube videos a week. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I understand that my production value isn't where some of these huge channels are, but production value doesn't have to be a million. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll watch the videos regardless. I don't understand. Like, I don't know. Maybe I have a different perspective. I clearly do have a different perspective, but this is not hard. People act like this is like breaking rocks. This is not hard. Coming up with the ideas might be a little tough, but even then, at this point on the internet, very rarely are people coming up with brand new ideas. You're adapting something else to fit you, or you're literally doing the exact same thing somebody else did. And it's not like, oh, you're copying them. It's like, it's a trend. Like, that's how it works. Like, you do trends, and you know what I mean? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, it'd be like somebody doing like one of those dance videos on TikTok, and someone expecting, like, obviously you tag them at the bottom or whatever, but even some people don't do that. Like, it's the internet. I don't know. I don't personally understand it. I don't personally get. And I've actually like known a person who went up through the YouTube ranks and was like really successful, and she has since left the internet. But I'm like, how hard is this? And she's like, you can make it very time consuming, but she's like, it's not hard. And that's the thing. Of course it's time consuming. If you're streaming and on lives and you're going out and posting for like your Instagram, and you're filming all your TikToks and you're filming all your YouTube videos, and then if you're editing your own YouTube videos, which once you get to a certain level isn't normal. Most people don't even film their own YouTube videos after a certain point. I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but also ASMR normally doesn't get that big. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like a cap where it's like, it doesn't get much bigger. I think JoJo ASMR is like the biggest ASMR artist like ever. He's got like 3 million or something. But that's extremely high for ASMR, but very low for like YouTube in general. Which is odd that ASMR doesn't grow like that. I don't know, I don't understand it. I picked the wrong industry to break into, apparently. I don't know. I just think, like, here's a good example. The Sidemen. I don't know if you know who they are or not. If you do, then everything I'm about to tell you is about to be redundant. If you don't, then I'll tell you there are 7 British YouTubers who have a collective channel, and they're all friends. They made this collective channel that has gone stupid mega huge, and they employ, I can't even tell you how many people, but they have their YouTube channel. They have a second channel like a couple of them get on there and react to videos. They have, I'm sure there's another one that I'm forgetting. Clips, the Clips channel. Then they started something called Side Plus, which is like a paid viewership app, where they post like podcasts, they post random different, like multiple different types of things, and that they post like, I would say multiple times a week on that as well. And then they've got a restaurant called Sides that is like a Chick-fil-A type thing. It's got like chicken and fries and stuff like that. That's in multiple areas. They have an alcohol brand called XIX Vodka, and they do vodka flavored vodkas, and they even did like a drink in a can. And then all 7 of them have their own personal channels. They have their own second channels. One of them runs a podcast with another friend. Like, they are so interwoven into, like, this is like an empire for the 7 of them. And then of course the KSI is a part of that. So then he's got like his music career, his boxing, his Prime, stuff like that. If you're doing it to that level where you've got multiple millions of people who watch everything you do, and you do these massive videos, then yes, of course, that's gonna be a much busier day. Would I say it's hard? No, I wouldn't say it's hard. And I'll tell you why I don't say it's hard. The real hard work, the stuff where it's like the entrepreneurial stuff and like the business stuff, isn't really run by them. It's like spearheaded by some of them, but they're not doing the day-to-day operation. They're not making sure that their chicken restaurant is fully stocked, running, whatever. They've got people that do that. They're not working at the chicken restaurant. They've got a clothing brand. I forgot about the clothing brand. They had like a store. You know, they're not working in the store. They're not looking at the logistics of the store. Even their online brand, they're not, you know what I'm saying? It's much more hands off now than it was when it was started and they were packing orders and stuff like that. And that's obviously how you want. That's entrepreneurial business, obviously. But you can't say, oh, this is so hard. Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. Like, I feel like even then, like, yes, you might be working hours, like multiple hours and stuff, but even then, like, you're not editing your videos, so you're just taking the raw footage, somebody else is editing it, so that takes a lot of your pressure off. There are people who upload on their channel for them. Like, if they stream their mods, like, there are people who do the dirty work they don't want to do, and like, that's fine. Everybody gets to that point with money, right? Like, you pay for the stuff you don't want to do, right? Like, that's like buying a loaf of bread. You could probably pretty easily make a loaf of bread, but you don't want to go through that effort. You'd rather buy it, right? So that's just like the luxuries of money, right? Like, what you can afford to do, which is fine. But my thing is, like, some of these people act like they are out there breaking rocks. Like, you're not. And especially, like, yeah, even if it is harder work or like longer hours or tough, it's still not that, sorry. But yeah, I think about the people that I know that are having to work multiple jobs, and like, a lot of the jobs are like much more physically demanding and stuff, and like, obviously even my job's not physically demanding, but I feel like it's so easy for people to be like, you should try to be us, because even if they're working the same hours or more hours than the rest of us, you are being compensated greatly for your work. Greatly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It just feels like people. I saw a girl on TikTok who is not TikTok famous. She's somebody said to her, because she had like I'm assuming it was like a wedding ring, and it was huge, like it was huge, and somebody put in the comments, like, with a rock like that on your hand, good to see you guys can afford to like splurge on a washing machine or something. It was kind of passive aggressive, like it was a little unnecessary of a comment, but she made a TikTok response to that video, that comment, and said, like, I don't understand why people who don't have money hate on people who have money. Like, what? What? She was like, I just don't get it. She's like, if you're broke, go out and work. Wait a minute. What's happening? I was like, what? There are just some jobs that just don't pay like that. Like, I don't understand. She's like, go start a business, go do this, go do that. Like, she was like, and she's like, once you have money, you're gonna see what it's like to have people hate on you for no reason. I was like, yo, somebody get this bitch a Xanax because she's off the freaking range, guys. Like, what? Relax. It has never been that serious. Normally when people are like, oh, look at the rock on your hand, you're like, thank you, oh my god, you know, like, you're not like, you're broke and disgusting, and when you get no longer broke and disgusting, then you won't have to worry about it. I was like, yo, you need to breathe multiple deep breaths, because you have lost the plot, bro. You've lost it. And that's the kind of tone-deaf behavior that kills me. Is it's like, oh, well, just go work. Nobody wants to work anymore. What do you mean nobody wants to work? People are working everywhere. If nobody wanted to work, there would be no employees. You're irrelevant. And I think it's so ironic because every time I make a video about how hard it was for me to find a job, people are in my comments like, yeah,